Hi, I'm Judy and welcome to my channel, Judy in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to make beer bread. Now this is going to be a plain bread. In the future, in other videos, I will be making variations of that I've come up with. There are a lot of variations that I have and they're yummy, so we'll share those in future videos. Today it's a plain beer bread and I prefer to keep it as simple as possible, so I'm going to be using self-rising flour. If you prefer not to use self-rising flour, you can do that, and for each cup of self-rising flour, you would substitute 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Now, you're also going to be adding a 12-ounce can or bottle of beer. It's your choice on what kind you use. If you use a light beer, you're going to have a lighter color to your bread and a lighter beer yeasty flavor to it as well. If you choose to use a dark beer, you're going to have a more robust flavor to your bread, a deeper beer and yeast flavor to it, and a little darker color as well. All right, we're going to get started. Okay, I'm going to start by weighing out 15 ounces of self-rising flour. If you prefer to use the all-purpose, you can, or if you want to measure your flour instead, it'd be 3 cups of self-rising flour. As I said in my video on scales, I prefer to weigh my flour because that way I know I'm getting exactly the right amount of flour that I want to get and need to get for that particular recipe to make it come out the way I expect it to come out every single time. Okay, whoop, a little bit over. Okay, I'm right at 15 ounces. I'm going to set the flour aside, turn off the scale, set that aside. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to give that a quick stir just to combine the two. Now we're going to add 12 ounces of a light beer. It gets very bubbly here, so you got to be careful not to let it bubble over. Stir it till it's well combined. In the meantime, I've preheated my oven to 375. It is hot, ready to go. The rack is in the middle of the oven. And I have greased the pan. I have a loaf pan that I'm going to use. It's an 8 by 4 inch loaf pan. You can use actually whatever vessel you want to put it in. A larger loaf pan or you could even bake it in a cast iron skillet if you wanted to. Basically whatever you want to do it in, although you might want to monitor it a little more carefully if you're using a different size pan or bowl to bake it in, to make sure, because it might bake faster and you don't want to burn it. Okay, I'd say it's pretty well mixed up. I have a spatula here. I like to scrape things off. I don't like to waste anything when it comes down to food. Food is precious to us. We can't live without it. Okay, now I have a greased pan. Again, it's 8 by 4. I'm just going to scoop this in. Smooth the top off a little bit. And you see I have 2 tablespoons there of butter, and that's real butter, sitting there. I need to melt that in the microwave, and then I'm going to drizzle it over the top. Be right back. Okay, that little bit of butter has been melted, and I'm just going to drizzle it over the top. And that's that. Now I'm going to put it in the oven. Again, 375, rack is in the middle. And I'm going to let it bake for 45 to 55 minutes. For me, it's usually done right around 45 minutes. And you'll take either a cake tester or a toothpick and put it in the center and make sure that it comes out clean. All right, I'll be back when it's done. Okay, my bread is done. I just took it out of the oven. And we can see that I'm using a cake tester here, and it comes out clean when I insert it into the center of the bread. So now we're going to remove it from the pan. That's easy. And allow it to sit and cool for a little while before we attempt to slice it. And there it is, a beautiful loaf of plain beer bread. That was really very easy. You can see that this bread is beautiful. It's golden brown. It's done. And I'm just going to let it cool for a while, and we're going to enjoy it for supper. To find this recipe written out and other recipes for my other beer breads and dips, I have that available online. You can find them on my website, handmadeinoiowa.com. And look for the recipe files page. I do have the files available in bundles of, this one will be included in the beer bread and dips recipe booklet. Thank you for tuning in. This is Judy at Judi in the Kitchen. I hope this helped. Make some beer bread. It's yummy. Bye.